So from the focus group sessions, we absolutely saw that there was strong appetite for a centralised evidence and research hub. We also recognise and receive support from the concept of us having in place an evidence champion role, if you like. So someone who would be available within local organisations to really champion evidence-based practice, but also undertake some tangible activities that really support evidence-based use, if you like, within organisations as well, and really taking on that role of sharing evidence across their own workforce, but also across their professional groups as well. In terms of the researchers, the focus group sessions that we undertook with the researchers as well, one of the issues that we identified from our research colleagues was really some of the difficulties that they have working with practitioners or accessing practitioners to help them thinking about the relevance of their research findings from that practice and policy perspective as well. Our research colleagues traditionally publish research outputs in formal journals and also deliver conference presentations, but really that there's a need for us to think about how better to support more collaborations between the research community, but also the practice community as well. And some of that is thinking about more creative ways in which our research colleagues can disseminate research findings out to the practice community as well. We then undertook a national survey, which some of you may have contributed to. This was a survey that was rolled out last year, and it was promoted by our various different professional membership bodies. And as I mentioned, this was really to think about and to help us understand better some of the skills and attitudes around evidence-based practice among practitioners, and to help us understand where there might be some need for us to focus on some skills development training as well, but also to think about some of the barriers and obstacles that practitioners experience when it comes to evidence-based use and engagement in research as well. So this is just a summary breakdown of the participants who took part in that survey activities, and you'll see here that we had a wide range of respondents who contributed data representing our medical colleagues, but also our nursing and allied health professionals colleagues as well. Most of our respondents were very experienced practitioners who have been around for a long time, and also our profile of respondents really did reflect those of the membership body from the Society of Occupational Medicine. In this slide here, we've also mapped out the confidence level that our practitioners who contributed to the national survey, their own level of confidence around accessing and understanding and interpreting evidence as well. And you can see here that for many of our practitioners, there's relatively good level of confidence when it comes to accessing evidence, whether that be through the traditional routes such as journal articles or accessing evidence through professional membership bodies as well, but also their own confidence and skills around applying that evidence to practice as well. Conversely, what we found was that there was absolutely a need for us to provide some more mentoring support and education and training to our practitioner colleagues around being able to critically appraise evidence and also understand some of the statistical concepts and the statistical reporting of findings within particularly journal papers as well. So as I mentioned before, when we think when we look at some of the barriers around engaging practitioners in using evidence and also supporting the conduct of research at that local level across the focus group sessions, but also the national survey, the issue around workload pressures and lack of protected time was really the chief barrier that many of our practitioners had reported back to us that really impeded their capacity to get involved in research, but also to access and make use of evidence as part of their day-to-day practice as well. Again, being able to apply evidence to practice for many people was a barrier as well. And some of that related to just understanding traditional academic evidence as it's currently provided in journal practices and thinking about how to apply that to their own practice as well. Some of our respondents also reported back that there was, I suppose, a poor research culture within their own organisations. And when we inquired about this in more detail, what we found was research within some organisations wasn't prioritised or wasn't seen as a priority over and above kind of day-to-day clinical practice, if you like. But that wasn't reflected across all organisations, with some of our organisations actively supporting and contributing to research, whether that's undertaking their own service evaluations and disseminating the findings from those, or supporting the conduct of formal academic research studies that are implemented within their organisations as well. We also, within the survey itself, gave thought to what an intervention might look like, so a future roadmap, if you like, and what might the components of this intervention be of most relevance to practitioners. And you'll see here that we've mapped out a range of different components in relation to skills development training around research skills. So that could be how to access evidence, whether that's through journal databases, whether that's being able to understand statistics, whether that's being able to develop research ideas and thinking about formulating research questions, and then thinking about research methods that might be appropriate to use. Right down to the skills to develop evidence summaries that really speak to the practitioner community as well, and offering mentoring support to support practitioners in evidence-based practice. We then looked at the different components across different sectors, and you can see here that our commercial occupational health providers, there was strong appetite and interest in training, in us providing training to an evidence champion, if you like. There was a lot of appetite across the various different sectors to support the conduct and development of evidence summaries, and also how-to guides for practitioners to use, as well as us providing mentoring support and ongoing supervision to practitioners, but with a particular focus on evidence champions as well. There was also interest and appetite for us to provide more opportunities for practitioners to engage with the research community as well. And as I mentioned, that could be across all stages and the life cycle of research, so thinking about topical research proposals that may wish to be taken forward that really speak to what's happening to what that's really that speaks to the practitioner's priorities, if you like, right through to supporting researchers to think about the policy recommendations or the practice recommendations from their research project as well. So just moving on, we then gave thought to different educational resources that might be appropriate for us to incorporate within this training module, if you like. The priority areas across all of the professional groups was really thinking about the safe use of artificial intelligence and how that's currently being used to inform evidence-based practice, and also giving some training and advice around techniques and the safe use of AI as well. Education training around how to translate evidence into real life practice, as I mentioned before, and then also supporting practitioners in how best to communicate evidence to senior leaders and to think about developing more bespoke evidence-informed business cases as well. So as I mentioned, towards the end of the development work activities, we then hosted our roundtable forum involving representatives from our professional membership organisations as well, but also members from our expert stakeholder and patient group as well. And that forum, that one-day forum, was really to help and to support the research team to think about this follow-up intervention and the different components of that. What really came out of that roundtable forum was the recognition that we need to provide better support to practitioners, and that notion of mentoring support and ongoing support to practitioners around supporting and facilitating evidence-based or evidence-informed practice, and for us to ensure that to do that we're able to ensure that practitioners have protected time to undertake those type of activities as well. So where to from here? We have recently submitted an application back to the National Institute of Health and Care Research for us to undertake a follow-up interventional study. We are proposing to run a mixed methods effectiveness and implementation study. So this will be the Engage Plus study, where we wish to evaluate a champion-led intervention designed to strengthen evidence-based practice among work and health practitioners, and then to enable us to identify the conditions and approaches that would be most optimally used to roll out this intervention more widely. So this diagram really just maps out what we're planning to do. So the plan is for us to recruit up to 42 evidence champions, if you like. They will be work and health practitioners representing all of the different professional groups within work and health, across 20 organisations, both within the NHS, but also the independent occupational health or work and health sector, but also the professional membership organisations as well. The Engage intervention will comprise an education and skills development training program. So this will comprise around 12 different online training modules with specific training around evidence-based techniques. So that could be things like formulating a search strategy, conducting a formal search on the journal databases, collating and synthesizing the evidence and understanding the evidence, some basic training and education around statistics, and then for us to provide some ongoing mentoring support to our trained champions. The mentoring support will be on a one-to-one basis, and we envisage that the champions will meet with the mentors probably every 6 to 8 weeks. They'll also join a wider community of practice forum with other champions and the wider research team as well, to really think about how to implement their learnings at that very local level, and to share strategies for how they've overcome some of those implementation obstacles that they may have experienced as well. As I mentioned several times during this presentation, one of the resounding issues that we absolutely needed to focus on was ensuring that our champions have protected time to engage in this intervention and also to implement this locally within their own organisations as well. For us to do this, we have requested specific funding so we can buy out practitioners' time to ensure that they have some protected time to support this study as well. So in terms of tangible practical activities that the champions will be expected to get involved in and to lead on, it will be activities around developing and creating evidence summaries, so drawing on the latest evidence, developing policy and practice reviews, and then disseminating those within their own organisations or across their professional membership groups as well. Undertake service improvement or service evaluation activities, and we are aware that some of our practitioner colleagues already undertake audit and service evaluation activities. So looking at how best to support organisations who perhaps are just starting off on this journey as well. So we have a lot of work to get to undertake over a 3-year funding period. We will receive an outcome from NIHR in the next few months, and we hope, if we secure this funding, to commence the study later on in the year as well. So just to acknowledge the wider research team who have all contributed to the preparation or the conduct of the development work that's now been completed, but also thinking and developing the follow-up proposal. You'll see here we have a wide range of colleagues representing different professional bodies, but also contributing subject matter expertise as well. So I'll finish there. I'll put up our contact details if anyone wishes to get in touch with the research team, if you're interested in supporting the Engage study going forward. And there'll be many different ways in which people can contribute, whether that's joining some of our stakeholder forums, or even if you're interested in coming on board as a potential research site. We would love to hear from you as well. So I'll stop there and I'll take questions.